we having? Well, I think we're in the wine selection from the airport, where it costs like $500.
So we're not having wine, is what you're telling me.
I mean, we could have some Pinot Grigio or something like that.
Oh.
Something fancy.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm sure they serve that on the plane.
Oh, not in my class.
Not in your class? Not the first class?
No. Alright, well, welcome to Whine and Whine with Tom and Mary.
There we go.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Just to let you know, in case you guys haven't joined us before, this is the spin-off podcast from at Tampon Talk with Mary. So be sure to check that out after this episode. But anyways, the topic of our episode is the pros and cons of airports.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, because we just let you know, we go to school in Southern California, but we each live on the East Coast. You're in Maryland.
Yeah.
I'm in Massachusetts.
Hey-o.
So shout out to our states.
Yeah.
But we because we have to go back and forth between home during breaks and stuff, we fly a lot. So well, let's start with this. Do you have a recall or a memory of like your worst airplane experience? Whether it was the airplane's fault or you were just having like a terrible day in the airport?
I mean, I've flown on my period before, which has been disastrous. I talked about that on Tampa Talk before, but I talked.
Were you prepared? Did you have like anything with you to like? Yeah,
like I wore a pad the whole time.
Yeah,
because if you sit y'all, if you sit there in a tampon, you're just gonna soak through it. It's a 6.5 hour flight from Maryland, California. So you
can change it every once in a while.
But then you gotta get up, and it's like Fat Guy McGee, who's also riding Southwest, is like shitting in the bathroom, and I'm not gonna change my tampon with his dookie air, like around my open vagina. Like I'm not getting Fatty McGee's dookie air in my vagina. All right, she doesn't deserve that. She doesn't. So like that's why I don't. So I was like, okay, we're just gonna wait it out, and we're just gonna wait in the bloody water until we get to San Diego. You know, that's my attitude. But what happens, right, is when you reach high altitudes, is that bloating and cramping becomes like way worse than it is on the ground.
Oh, jeez.
Because of air pressure.
I mean, that explains it. Like, if you're sick, because I know like when my sister one time, she went on the flight when she was sick. And, like, she was throwing up earlier that day, but we had to fly home. Yeah. And she passed out on the flight.
Dang.
And it was funny, though, because she, like, didn't fully realize it was her, because she was kind of out of it. She was, like, walking towards the bathroom, and then suddenly kind of just blacked out and just heard someone say, "Someone collapsed!" And she's thinking, wait, is that me?
Oh, how about that? I've never passed out on a plane before. I think that's why they recommend you don't. Like, I have gotten my wisdom teeth out and I needed to fly home, and it was like...
oh my god, I remember that, yeah.
Oh, that was bullshit. I, like, really drugged myself up for 3 days so I would, like, heal really fast. Yeah, I'm not doing that again.
I remember the snaps. Your face was like a balloon. It was hilarious.
It was so bad. They really fucked up my teeth. That's a whole different rant.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that's, like... I feel so much love for the flight attendants, right? I ride Southwest because, why would you do anything else? Honestly, it's like I'm not gonna go on Delta Airline where they're gonna they treat you nicely, but then they're gonna beat you up and take you off the plane. Where on Southwest, you know damn well that they can beat you up, so you sit in your seat and you shut the hell up. So that's why.
Throw back to 2017, y'all.
Woo! Y'all remember Delta? I still remember Delta. I still remember.
It's a pretty good airline that I've had. Like from what I've only been on a couple times, but my experience has been pretty good. Alaska.
Really?
Alaska's at least like for me, like the seats have been pretty comfortable, and they have a great selection of movies whenever I go on it. Oh. So like I'm always happy with that.
Interesting.
I really get annoyed. Like there have been some flights, I can't really remember which airlines to point out, but it annoys me like when I'm on a flight and they like because they don't walk up and down. They'll like walk up and down with drinks once, and that'll be it for like a 4-hour flight. And I'm like, I'm thirsty.
Oh.
I'm thirsty. Not in that way, but I'm thirsty.
Yeah.
Actually, there is something really cool, though. I will say, some flights have been starting to do, which I think is really cool. Where there's like a little cabinet. I don't know. I forget which airline this is. Maybe it's more than one, but where you have the option where there's a cabinet where you can just get the snacks yourself.
Oh.
Well, like they'll walk by with snacks, but if you're ever hungry on your own, you can just get up and there's a little cabinet, you open it up, you get your pretzels and shit, and you go.
Oh.
Which I think is, like, pretty cool. You know, it's accessible, and, like, makes it feel a little more homey. You get what you want, you get as many as you want. It's good. It's good.
I would... What is that? Do you know what, like, flight that is? Or, like,
I forget. I remember there were a couple times, again, I forget. But there was, like, you know, I pointed, like, I remember I saw a guy get it, and I was like, and I thought this guy, I saw a couple people go up and just, like, open and get it, and I thought, like, man, they're being dicks, they're not letting the flight attendants do their job. And I go up, and I, like, can I have something? And she's like, oh, yeah, you just take it. And I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to take it.
Oh.
I didn't realize it, but I'm like, that's kind of cool, you know?
Huh. Yeah, because you know, like, what Southwest is at, if it's, so, say, like, it's a 6-hour flight, like I usually am on, is that they're going to go around twice to ask you for your drink order and then give you, like, snacks or something. They're only going to do it twice, all right? So if you're asleep the first time, you're not going to get it for another 3 hours. So then, if you are asleep the second time, you're not getting it at all.
True. Yeah. Well, what's worse is also if you're, like, in the window seat and there are two people sitting in front of you, you can't, like, wave them down. You can't get up to go to it.
Yeah, and they're not gonna... And you know damn well you're gonna pick the window seat. It's the farthest away from all the strangers that you gotta sit with on the plane. You know, you get the nice little view outside. You control the light that's gonna enter the row. So,
True.
That's why it's the prime time seat.
Well, I also like the window seat the most is because I have a lot... Like, I can if I need to, but it's hard for me to just sit up to sleep sitting up straight. I sleep a lot better leaning against something.
Yeah.
You know, I can't really lean on the person I'm sitting next to if I'm in the middle seat.
Right.
Well, it's funny because my dad used to buy my plane tickets for me for a while, and he would always buy me the aisle seat on the red-eye flights. But he likes the aisle seat because he likes to stretch his legs out and he likes to be able to get out whenever he wants. And he thought that's what I like, and I'm like, no, I can't fucking sleep. You're supposed to be on a flight for 6 hours from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. I can't fucking sleep, man.
That's the what? Oh my god. There was one time I was riding in Southwest, right? And I'm at my gate, and I'm about to get on the plane. And they make an announcement. You know how they announce your class? So they're like A, B, C, and the rest, because they don't care about C or nothing. Yeah. But on Southwest, if you end up in, like, the lower end of the C class, is that if it gets too full or something, they can kick you off.
Yeah.
So, like, that's something you know just buying it. And A, B, and C are, like, kind of like, it's a first come, first serve kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm getting on my plane to go home, and they make an announcement, and they say, okay, so here's what we's gonna do, is that either we gotta kick 40 of y'all off the plane, or we have to make a stop in Oakland, or we have to make a stop in New Orleans, to get gas, because the plane is almost out of gas. That's something you never think about, is that these fools gotta run on gas. Like airplanes are just magic to me, and like, how the fuck does that even work? But they gotta, like, drop down and fill up at the thing, and, like, you know, I don't know if they take diesel. Like, I got more questions.
That scares me to think, like, what if they run out of gas? Well, can you imagine the first few planes, you know, they built where it's like, because you know, like on a plane and a car, like, you know, they'll have, like, the meat, you know, like the fuel tank. Yeah. They'll tell you, like, how much it's full or empty. Like what? Like, first of all, like, there was probably a time where they didn't have that invented, and there were people flying their planes just guessing, yeah, it's probably sounding a little empty in there, we should fill it up now. Like, there were people who, like, probably didn't, like, even master the fuel tank sign empty, and, like, people probably crashed. Oh my god, that's terrifying. You know damn well that there are those pilots that are gonna ride that plane until it's so close to E that they're gonna get their money's worth out of every single thing of gas, because I do. It's like you roll up to the gas station, like, on the bare need for gas. So I'm sure they do the same thing with planes. And I got all those people on there, like, should be scary. So, like, I do that too, so yeah.
So here's what happened, right? Is that they didn't end up kicking 40 people off the plane, because that's dumb. So everybody got on the plane, and we had to stop in New Orleans to get gas. So the flight attendant, like, was already fed up with this flight. It had a ton of, like, really cranky middle-aged white people on it who felt entitled to everything. And I was like, why the fuck are you on Southwest? You're not entitled to shit. So then we're touching down. It's going into the 20-minute descent, and the middle-aged flight attendant gets on, and she goes, okay, So we're going to touch down in New Orleans in 20 minutes. If everybody just sits down and doesn't get up at all, we can get this thing going and we can all keep going and go home. And everybody was like, okay. We touched down, and I'm telling you, Tom, the second that wheel touched the ground, half the fools got up. And, like, they're all standing up, walking around, trying to use the bathroom and shit. And, like, there's people just standing up, like, talking to people in the aisle. I was just like, and the flight attendant gets on the intercom again. She's like, we need everybody to sit down. Nobody's listening to her. And then she gets on another time. She's like, everybody needs to sit the hell down. And then, like, people aren't still listening. And then the pilot gets on the intercom and says, unless you guys want to spend the night in New Orleans, you guys better sit the hell down. And everybody sat down.
Oh, they listened to it because it's a man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow. You just mansplained the flight attendant.
Yeah.
Fucking bullshit. And then everybody sat down.
No. It's not the fact that he didn't mansplain the flight attendant. It's the fact that the attendants didn't listen to her because she's a woman.
Yeah.
That's what's the problem.
That's the bullshit.
That's the bullshit.
It's just, and then, so long story short, I end up in Baltimore. Fine. But I wouldn't have because these middle-aged white guys weren't listening to a flight attendant, and the pilot had to come on and be like, y'all fools need to sit down. It was ridiculous. I was like, I'm just trying to go home. I was like, it was so bad because I was going home for a funeral, and I was just like, if y'all...
Oh, was that time?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, if y'all fuckers make it so I can't go home for a funeral, like, you are, like, the worst of the worst, and I will individually castrate every single one of your goddamn middle-aged dicks on this flight. I can't. I was like, you guys know this is Southwest. You know what you're getting into. And then on the way back from the funeral is that somebody, I think, had a heart attack on the plane. The flight attendant is this cute Southern lady, and she gets on. She goes, "Are there any doctors on board?" And I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, I don't really know what to do. It was like a really old guy. I never knew what happened to him. I didn't look backwards because I was a little scared. But I was being all like Catholic and said, said my prayers for him. He was fine. He rolled off the plane. Like they put him in a wheelchair and they got him. He was okay. But I was like, I can't do anything for this man. I was just like, oh my God, somebody gonna die on this flight. It was scary. But that's Southwest for you. That's just like a Tuesday for them, I would imagine.
Did they beat that person up? Oh, I hope not.
Oh, I hope not.
All right, on a different. Let's move on a happier note. You know what? May bring up what's a really big struggle for me when I'm on a really big struggle I've dealt with the last couple times I've flown home. Because whenever I fly home, I like to fly the overnight flights. I'm pretty sure they're cheaper. I think they are.
Oh, I don't know.
I think they are. I think they are because, no one likes to fly that late at night. But secondly, also, it's like it gives me like an extra day essentially to spend with family and stuff.
Oh.
But but I always have this dilemma. The last couple times I've flown home is that I'll always take the red eye, but there'll always be a TV monitor. And the biggest issue will be is that while flying back home, that I'll just happen to kind of glance what movies they have, and I'll always have this issue I'll glance through it and I'm like, shit, there are 50 movies I want to watch that's not on Netflix, Xfinity, Hulu, or Amazon. This is the only place I can watch it for free, but I know I have to go to sleep.
Oh damn!
And I'll always have this ultimatum thinking all right, I'm gonna watch one movie and go to sleep then for 4 hours.
Dang. What movies have you watched on a plane?
Let's see, what did I do? Last time I watched the Lego Ninjago movie.
Oh.
That was, that wasn't that bad. A lot of people didn't like it. I don't know why a lot of people didn't like it. I thought it was cute. I thought it was funny. A little long at some parts, but I think people didn't like it was because Lego Batman and the Lego movie were so great, which are two movies you wouldn't think would be great, but they are. But yeah, and then remember, what was it? And then, I couldn't fall asleep for that flight, actually, so I spent, the rest of the night watching the second half of Blade Runner 2049.
Love it.
Which is a fucking awesome movie.
Oh, so good.
But there was one flight, though, I remember, where, I was on a 6 or 7 hour flight at night, and, I was like, I'm gonna watch one movie, before I go to sleep. And I decided to watch Brigsby Bear. Have you seen Brigsby Bear, by the way?
Mm-mm.
Brigsby Bear is such a great movie. If you guys should look it up, Brigsby Bear, it's just a great movie. It's just a great film about like creativity and stuff like that. It's a cute indie film. I love it. Mark Hamill has a cameo in it. It's amazing.
Cute.
It's a little messed up in the beginning, but it's great. It's great. It's great. But I was watching the movie on the plane, and it was so far. I was like so emotionally invested. There were 3 minutes left in the movie. My screen went dark.
What?
The reason it went dark was because this asshole, this old, 60-something dude, fell asleep on the control mode of the seat. You know, like, your seat pad has, like, the remote where, you controls your brightness? He fell asleep on the brightness, and it darkened it completely. So I'm trying to, and I'm like, I want to go to sleep. I want to watch the last 3 minutes of this movie. So I'm, trying to, slowly, nudge this guy's elbow for, 10 minutes. Because I'm I just want to finish my fucking movie, man. Eventually, he got up to go to the bathroom. I finished the movie, and I was like, thank God.
But those last 3 minutes.
I was thinking, because I was thinking, he fell asleep. He might be asleep the rest of the flight.
Yeah.
I might not be able to finish this. This is gonna kill me.
Oh my God.
Ugh.
I don't think I was ever... Actually, I take that back. I've been on some Southwest flights where they let you watch TV, but it's because they don't have any films. You know, they got a couple Food Network shows, and there's a lot of HGTV shows, and I'm fine with that. I used to hate them when I was a kid, but they are so delightful. My house is a piece of shit, but I will fully have strong opinions about matching blinds and cabinets in a kitchen, watching HGTV that I know damn well I'd never be able to do on my own. But I've calculated it out, and I can watch 6 episodes of Chopped, and I land in San Diego. So
wow,
it's pretty sweet. So if I'm really that bored, I will sit and watch 6 episodes of Chopped, because they're an hour long. So I was like, oh, and that flies by. It's oh, I'm in the middle of watching the dessert round, and then it's oh, we're 20 minutes into landing, and I was like, oh, well, thank you, Food Network.
Speaking of food, I will say when it comes to shopping at the airport, when you're not shopping, no one shops at the airport.
No one shops at the airport.
Sorry, unless you're getting a last minute gift because you're a terrible parent, friend, or family member, or whatever.
And a sucker.
Yeah, but whenever I'm at a airport, I always find myself I will if I get there an hour early before my flight and I still need to eat dinner or something like that, I will walk around the airport to try to find what are the cheapest and best options for me for food, because I'll think okay, here's a bagel that costs $6, but over here I can get 2 bagels for $9. Also expensive, but a bit of a steal compared to this place.
You're already losing money on this deal, so you might as well just get it anyway.
You're just and it's just this constant debate in my head as I walk. Because I'll walk, because even if I'm near my gate, I'll walk to the other side of the airport just to find something that's cheaper. I'm I am not gonna spend my money on this.
And isn't business monopolies illegal? Isn't that illegal? So why are they why is it that you go into an airport and they get to make the prices whatever they want because they're the only business in town?
I mean, I listened to an old Jerry Seinfeld stand-up bit where he's talking about airports think they're their own country,
Yeah, they do.
Apples are rare here.
That's so true. It's
actually, I always find getting fruit at an airport the sketchiest thing.
Yeah.
It's almost if someone tried to offer me an apple at Denny's, I'd be no.
It's I don't really know.
Or no, the fish at Denny's. Yeah, that's
no one gets don't get the fish.
Don't get the fish.
Don't get the fish.
I wouldn't get the fish.
At the diner. Don't get the fish at the diner.
Apparently it's good at, what is it? Is it Norton's? Morton's? There's a diner there's a diner chain in LA that apparently has everything on the menu's good, no matter what you get.
Huh.
I forget what it's called. When I think of it, I'll let you know, or we'll say it next podcast episode. But yeah. Do we have any other specific things?
When people are fucking rude to the TSA.
The TSA?
Yeah, I can't. That's the thing. I was you guys know the rules. You need to listen. This is the kind of shit that protects you from another 9/11. You need to stop. Is that put your shoes in the goddamn bin. Put your laptop in the goddamn bin. Get rid of your fluids that are super fucking big. make sure you have things to declare if you have things to declare. Like, make their jobs easier because no one wants to fucking be there. So,
I mean, it's actually really funny because, I remember one time, because, I was going, I think I was going, it was, kind of a school trip, I think I was going on a school trip, with my chorus, and as we were boarding on the planes, there was these girls complaining behind me, because, we were flying out from Boston, Logan Airport, and they were complaining behind me, why is security here so annoying? And I'm like, well, the 9/11 planes flew out of Logan, and they're like, really? And I'm like, you're from Massachusetts, you should know that shit.
Yeah, what the... It's like, sorry guys, playtime's over, and it was ruined by the terrorists, so be mad at the terrorists. It's not... It's their goddamn fault. I was like, also, if people in prisons can make, shivs and shit, out of things that are there or something, you can get around on a plane. I've thought about it, on a flight once, is that sitting there, I was like, there are a lot of things you could use in here as a weapon if you absolutely needed to.
Don't listen to our audience to influence them, but...
this shoe I'm wearing, I could whack somebody, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, that's true, that's a good one.
Use your shoe, use your clothes, I got a keychain, I got a pair of keys, I can slice some food. You will be fine.
Mary, you're concerning me a little bit.
You'll be fine. Just listen to the TSA. I can't. I was like, be nice to the TSA. There was one time I had, a bracelet that I forgot to take out because I was the idiot, not the TSA, in my front pocket of my jeans. And they were like, we detect something in the breast and genital area. And I was like, I love it. And this woman was like, do you want a private room so we can, pat you out? And I was like, no, it's fine. And she grazed my boobies. And then she, took 2 fingers and, grazed my crotch. And she's like, all right, you're good. And I was like, yep. So I pulled it out. I was like, sorry, I had this in there, which probably was. And then she was like, oh, okay.
Would you took that out after she felt you up or before?
No, before.
Okay.
So actually, it was a ring. So I took it out and I was like, it was a ring that I had left in there. And then I was like...
That would have been awkward. It's just you left, you waited till afterwards, this is what it was. And I'm like, that's revealing.
And then she still had to do it. So I was just like, okay. Yeah. And I was like, you a homegirl, so you get it. So it's fine. If you were some dude, I'd feel a little more uncomfortable, but
Yeah, I mean, I mean, from what I understand, I think they have some, they always have a male and a female there.
Yeah.
Because this way they have, because this way it's the guy would feel with the guy, the girl would feel with the girl.
Yeah.
This way there wouldn't be anything sexual misconduct having to be thrown around afterwards.
So it's not super bad. Yeah. Yeah, be nice to TSA. Oh my god, Dane Cook? Sorry, we're driving. There's a billboard with Dane Cook's ugly ass face on it.
That was the third one we passed.
Oh. I think I've just blocked him out from it. Why is that fool still making comedy?
Do you hate him that much?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't think he's funny.
I like some of his stuff.
He also looks like a teacher I had in high school that I was really annoyed with, so I think that adds a little bit to
I can see that. I can see that.
They look exactly the same. I'll have to show you a picture. Do you have any thoughts?
No, I think that's basically most of my frustrations on the airport industry, but also my compliments to them. So
I think more of my frustration relies with the people going into the airport. Not
that is true.
Itself.
That's true.
So
just the technical mishaps. Nothing we can do. Yeah. All right. Well, all right. Well, I think that concludes our episode. Thank you all for listening. Again, check out Tampon Talk with Mary. Check out that podcast; it's good shit. And follow us on Twitter. You can follow me at my Twitter handle is at TomZoop ZOOP, and then I follow Mary at
Periods Talk and our Tampon Talk Media, Tampon Talk W Mary and Tampon Talk with Mary at gmail.com.
There we go.
Yeah, thanks for whining with us.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.